So my friends, welcome to a new stock market video. Today we're talking about Weex, basically a new exchange which I am now partnered with as well. I have to be honest about that. You already saw it yesterday in the Telegram group where I made a post about it. That's why Weex is now being added to my portfolio of exchanges. At the moment, I'm using BingX as my main exchange, Pinex for all the bots because they still have the best bots, and now Weex as an alternative. Why Weex? Weex currently has a very, very high influx, I have to say. It's easy to use and there are really a lot of bonuses. And why not sign up at an exchange where you get free bonuses, where you don't even really have to trade? You just take the bonuses and let positions be created for you. And that's why I'd like to introduce the exchange to you today. I'll put all the links down in the video description for you so you definitely have an overview. There are huge, huge bonuses. As I said, I already posted it in the Telegram group yesterday where basically all you have to do is make a deposit. You don't have to do anything else with it and you simply get the bonuses credited to you. Just as an example, you deposit 1,000 USDT, so you transfer it over, let it sit for a few days, and then you get 1,000 USDT as a bonus, as a trade, which you can simply leverage and open short or long positions with. The good thing is you don't necessarily need KYC here either. You also have regular futures bonuses here if you complete trading tasks, meaning 10,000 in volume. That means you open a $5,000 trade with 2 times leverage and close it immediately. Then, for example, you get a futures bonus of 5 USDT because that's essentially the trading volume. Opening and closing counts as one trade and is calculated accordingly in the end. That's why it's a really, really good offer for you. I think this is valid for the next 26 to 30 days as far as I know, since the promotion has already been running for 2 days. That's why I already posted it for you yesterday. So just grab the bonuses because, like I said, by now I feel like I'm registered on 100 exchanges, always just to get the bonuses. These are free trades that you can simply take advantage of here, basically just for making a deposit. Let's take a look inside. So as you can already see here, the exchange heavily advertises the fact that a lot of bonuses are being distributed. That's always a bit of a, well, in quotation marks, warning sign, of course, meaning you shouldn't leave millions lying around here, but you can basically do normal trading here. You can also trade here daily, basically, once you've earned your bonuses here. That means starting from about $10,000 in bonuses, you basically get this daily spin here as well. Then, of course, there are also the welcome bonuses. That's what I just showed you. There are airdrops here, so exactly what a lot of exchanges are doing right now with airdrops, you get that here too. Let's move on to deposits. So basically right at the beginning, it's the same process as everywhere else. So you can deposit all sorts of things here. USDT is probably always the cheapest, and then you just look here. In the end, BEP20 or Polygon are usually the cheapest ways to send money over, so to speak, to leave it there. So that's what I would recommend to you the most here. Of course, you can also withdraw normally, that's no problem either. You can also choose which cryptocurrency to withdraw. There are hundreds of thousands of options and you can withdraw those as well. You just have to be careful here. As you can see here, some are suspended. That's probably also a bit due to liquidity. That's why it's more of a trading exchange, a spot exchange, so to speak. If you want to send it away again, you have to check beforehand whether the network is actually able to process it at the moment. A very important point. Other than that, we have markets. Here, you only really have crypto markets. So no stocks or anything else that's becoming more common now. Still, everything here is very, very well organized and there are 0 fees as well. What can you do? Then there's the Solana ecosystem, AI, BRC20, memes. Everything is nicely categorized here so you can check it all out in the end. The exchange now also has a lot of volume because there's currently very aggressive marketing going on here. Still, the exchange is, in the end, very well suited for taking advantage of the bonuses, I would say. If you click on futures up here, you'll also see USDT futures in the end. You can even do demo trading here for anyone who wants to test out the exchange first in demo mode, so to speak. Also not bad at all. Then yeah, leaderboard and things like that, those are rather unimportant, but here you have regular futures trading. If you click on futures trading, you'll see the standard interface right here. So you can use the regular trading view layout here with the daily time frame. You can use the 4-hour time frame and so on, and even draw a bit, just the most important things for this. But I would still recommend that you just use TradingView. Sure, the exchange tools are really well developed by now, but still TradingView always has much more focus and way more options to play around with. And I'm also not a fan of drawing everything here, especially since I'm on my phone a lot anyway. It's a cool tool, but as I said, pretty unnecessary for me. Otherwise, up here at the top right, you can set the leverage. So here you even have the option to trade Bitcoin with up to 400 times leverage. I would never do that if I were you. Maybe you can do that with some futures bonuses, but otherwise, as you know, I'm more a fan of a maximum 10 to 15 times leverage. As I said, if you can handle it, okay, perfect. What might also be important to know, which can differ a bit between exchanges, is that here you can trade both isolated and cross margin. That means with isolated, only the amount you enter is used. With cross, at least the remaining balance on your futures account is also used. Maybe another important point here, just to mention again for all the newcomers out there, the default setting is cross margin. As I said, I wouldn't use that. Use isolated margin. That way, if you put $100 into a trade and don't set a stop loss, then only those $100 are at risk. With cross margin, it's always a bit trickier. But that's why you should definitely set it to isolated here. Otherwise, you can also place limit and market orders here. As mentioned, limit orders are always a bit cheaper because you're providing liquidity. With market orders, you enter instantly and you can select your amount here, either in BTC as mentioned or in USDT. If you select USDT here, you'll see that you can simply move the slider back and forth, and in the end, you'll have the position you want to take. Otherwise, something else that's currently available, which I've noticed, is that there are a lot of sign-up bonuses and futures vouchers. That means in the end, you have to, where did I find that? I need to quickly look for it again. If you click on welcome bonus here, that's why I want to quickly show you this as well. Here you can see premium for new users. This is exactly the layout you'll see when you sign up using my link below. So if you keep your deposit here for 3 days, you'll get these bonuses, right? So it's important to know at this point, you already get coupons just for registering, and these coupons are important. Coupons are not futures bonuses. That means these coupons are primarily used, you'll see it down here under vouchers, for the opening and closing fees. That means, of course, there are also funding rates for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and these coupons are primarily used for that at first. So don't think that just because you have, wow, a $19 voucher, that these $19 are actually your trading cushion. You shouldn't see it that way. Coupons or vouchers are always intended so that all the opening and other bonuses are eliminated. Then here you can also see the futures bonuses. Futures bonuses can be used for opening positions, transaction fees, margin, and P&L calculations. That means they can also be used as margin here. Exactly. Bonuses are not paid out and expire in the event of an asset transfer. That means as long as this trade is running and you, let's say, withdraw your $500, these bonuses will also expire. You can keep the profits from these bonuses. Of course, that should be obvious, because if you offer bonuses like we have here, in the end you deposit $1,000 and get $1,000 worth. You can't just withdraw the $1,000. That means you receive them as bonuses, as futures bonuses, and you can trade with them. For example, you open a 10 times leverage position with $1,000, then you have a $10,000 position. If the price pumps 10%, you make a $1,000 profit. You can keep that profit and do whatever you want with it, open new trades, generate new futures bonuses, or in the end, trigger the trading tasks here. That's really, really important to mention in my opinion, just so this doesn't get misunderstood or taken the wrong way. Otherwise, as I said, it's clear and easy to navigate. Even the app, I'm more interested in the app. It also works great and runs smoothly. That's important to me. Otherwise, you can also see we launch here. These are always a few smaller projects and such where you can ultimately participate. That means you have to deposit USDT here, and then you might receive airdrops from these projects as well. Maybe good to know at this point. And otherwise, here under promotion, you can see the token airdrops, ecosystem week, Ondo action week. So there are always events you can participate in. That's what the exchange is for. So the exchange just keeps distributing profits endlessly, I'll just say, or rather bonuses. For that, it's great. That's why I decided to go with it for now, so that you can also benefit in the end. And since, when I do a bit of trading there, I also generate some volume. It's just a way to take advantage of the free bonuses. That means going forward, I will of course continue to use BingX, that's clear. I'll also use Pionex as a bot, and Weex is then the other exchange where you can also generate a bit on the side. Otherwise, what you don't have here is something like wealth, meaning staking and such, because it's purely a trading exchange. Also good to mention. But otherwise, feel free to check it out. I'll put all the links for you down in the video description. As I said, you don't necessarily have to trade to get these bonuses here. It's really just about depositing money, then you get this free trade and you can do whatever you want with it. And the bonuses, just to show you again here, under welcome bonus, you also see a 20 times Ethereum USDT trade. That means if I deposit $3,000 here, this isn't your promotion. This was just my own action for signing up. Then you get a $2,000 position with 20 times leverage. You can do quite a lot with that if you have a bit of knowledge about chart analysis in the end. If we now say, okay, let's quickly look at the Ethereum chart here and say, okay, we're going short with 20 times leverage at our resistance zone up here, and the trade actually runs all the way down into our zone here with 20 times leverage, and we say, okay, Ethereum drops to about, $4,000 from its current level, then that would mean 14% or almost 15% times 20 leverage, and you can keep the profits for free. So you can have a little fun with it. feel free to try it out. As I said, I'll put all the links down in the video description. Feel free to write your opinion in the comments, also what you think about it. Otherwise, I'd say that's it from my side. Check it out. We'll catch up again in the next video. Until then, ciao ciao, and as always, stay crypto.